guys, so today this is Storytime episode 3. Two of them got messed up. Here we go. One Christmas Eve long ago, it snowed very hard in London. A thick blanket of snow covered the roofs and windowsills, and the carriage wheels left tracks in the streets. Gently falling snowflakes tickled the townsfolk hurrying homeward, laden with Christmas gifts. But one person was not thinking about Christmas trees nor presents. He paid no attention to the gaily decorated houses, for his name was Ebenezer Scrooge. Doesn't sound interesting? Ebenezer Scrooge hurried past a group of carolers. Joy to children near and far, what a wondrous time of year, they sang. God bless you, sir, one of them called out. Please spare a coin for a poor hungry child. Bah, humbug, replied Scrooge. Stand aside there. I have no time to dawdle. Not a penny will you get from me. If the poor want to be rich, then let them work as hard as I do. With his cane, Scrooge angrily knocked the snow from the sign above his office door. He was thinking about his partner, Jacob Marley, who had passed away 7 years ago that very night. He was a good one. He robbed the widows and swindled the poor. In his will, he left me enough money to pay for his tombstone, and I had him buried at sea. Ha ha, Scrooge chuckled to himself. Even though it was Christmas Eve, Scrooge's clerk, Bob Cratchit, was busily working. He had been copying letters all day, and although he wore a scarf and gloves, his teeth were chattering loudly. Achoo, sneezed Cratchit. It's freezing today. Surely Scrooge won't miss one little piece of coal. Cratchit carefully lifted the coal bucket, but did not see who was coming up the sidewalk. Suddenly Scrooge burst into the room. He tossed his bag of dirty laundry on the floor and waved his cane in there. Caught you, he shouted at Cratchit. Are you trying to ruin me? That coal cost a pretty penny. You know. Ha, stammered Cratchit. I was just trying to thaw my ink. Bah, you used a piece last week. The miserly Scrooge replied, Now get back to work. Old Scrooge sat down at his desk and lovingly polished his gold coins until they glowed brightly. Rubbing his hands together with glee, he weighed the coins on the scales and stacked them carefully on the desktop. With a quill pen, he scratched figures in an enormous book. Suddenly, the door flew open with a bang. Merry Christmas, someone cried. Cratchit looked up from his work and gave a hearty greeting to Scrooge's nephew, Fred, who stood in the doorway, grinning broadly. What's this, Uncle Scrooge? Fred exclaimed. Poor Cratchit's still working on Christmas Eve. Bah, humbug, snorted Scrooge. We never close. Bob Cratchit looked sadly at his ledger. All right, well, that's the end of my Storytime episode 3. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll get Storytime episode 4 up and running. Bye.